Hey guys, coming back for the series premiere of the new show that premiered on Showtime last night, Billions. Now, I knew pretty much nothing going into this. I remember I saw some previews and I'm like, I don't really know what this is about. I kind of just wanted to go in fresh and I knew I liked the cast. That was really all I knew. But then I heard reviews. Most of them were pretty mediocre, saying, "Oh, the cast is really good, but the story isn't as engaging and it's kind of hard to latch onto these characters." And after watching the show, I have to say that yes, the cast here is very good, and I do really like some of the things in this show. I personally just can't see myself sticking with it. I think this was a very good premiere. I will definitely say that. I think there were definitely some really good things about it. But me personally, I just can't really see myself sticking with this show. It doesn't really interest me. And I'll get into some of the things that I like, some of the things that I know I'm not going to be interested in. First of all, let's get to the plot here, because our plot focuses on two characters. I'm not gonna do like a recap thing here, because like I said, I'm probably not gonna watch this show after this episode. I wanted to review this first episode, give you my thoughts on it, and then tell you guys, alright, I'm not gonna watch the show. I just feel like it's more, you know, it makes more sense for me to review the first episode and then be like, okay, I'm not gonna watch the show, and it's versus, not review it at all. I just feel like that's not fair to you guys. You guys want to hear my thoughts, and I want to give you guys my thoughts, so I'm gonna do that. Basically, we have two characters. We have Chuck Rhodes, who is this, United States attorney. He's very ruthless, and you also have Bobby Axe, as they call him, Axe. He is this very ambitious hedge fund king, and he basically Chuck starts going after Axe, and that's pretty much the plot of the show. Is these two men start going after each other, and there's more to it, but let's get to the cast here, because by far the best thing about this show is the cast. Every single person in this cast, I've seen other things, they're all great. Paul Giamatti, I think, is really good as this role, Chuck Rhodes. Problem is, I don't like his character. I really don't. I mean, I've seen him play some really great characters. This, however, I don't really like him as. I don't like see him as this, like, very, like, tough guy who pretty much has, like, no sense of humor whatsoever. He's very serious. I don't really like his character. I don't know what it is about him. I'm not a fan of him. I don't understand his weird BDSM obsession. I don't really understand that. The twist at the end, that they do with his character, we'll get into, it didn't really make any sense to me. I do like some of the things that came up with his character, like how he doesn't listen, he's trying not to listen to his father. I think that definitely is very interesting. The whole thing that happened with his father that came up, and his friend, that definitely I thought was very interesting what came up there. Definitely that's something that interested me. And the relation he has with his wife, Wendy, I was definitely interested in. I just was not that huge of a fan of his character, and if he's supposed to be main character of the show, it's kind of a problem when I don't really like his character. I just don't. I don't really find him to be that great of a character. I really do like Damian Lewis, though, as Axe. I think he is a good character. However, the whole thing with him being the sole survivor of, like, the 9/11 attacks, to me just says, oh, this is why we should care about him. Cut that whole part out, I'd be fine, because I think it's completely unnecessary. Don't get me wrong, one of my favorite scenes in the episode is that mother, being upset about how he's the only one left, and he's talking about, oh, I don't understand how I'm alive, things like that. That scene I really like. Just me personally, to me, that just felt like, oh, that's why we should care about this character. And I think there are other reasons why you should care about him. He has a lot of charisma. He's very calculated. He's very good at what he does. And I definitely liked his character. I thought he did a very good job. And definitely there's more going on with this character. You can tell there's more going on with this character, which definitely is very interesting. I'm just not that interested. I'm really not. I'm not interested in what's going on with this character, and I'm not interested in these two overall. So I think he definitely did a good job. Maggie Siff here, I really liked her character. Definitely, she did a great job as Wendy. The interesting thing that comes up with her is that Chuck wants her to get this part-time job, basically, to quit this other job and get a different job. Um, she wants this other job, and she does not want to quit this job, obviously, because she's working with Axe, and because he knows what Axe does, he wants her to quit, but she doesn't want to, so I found that to be quite interesting. I think the chemistry between these two is very interesting. Who I really didn't care for was Malin Ankerman. I thought she was fine, but I thought she was just okay. To me, it seemed like she's only on the show because, oh, You have Maggie Siff, that's Paul Giamatti's wife. So we have to have Malin Ankerman as Axe's wife. It just didn't really make sense to me. I thought she was fine, but whatever. I don't much to say about her. And then everyone else in the show I thought was okay. You have the right hand men for both of the men. And this is where the show starts to become a bit of a problem. It's a very formulaic show in the sense that this man, you see one man's children, you see the other man's children. They go back and forth between these two, and some of it just wasn't that interesting to me. Like, Chuck's life in general is interesting. It's just I cared so much more about Axe's life than Chuck's life, and Chuck I didn't really care as much for. I didn't really find his character all that interesting. I really didn't, and I didn't really find was the situation that they were in all that interesting. I really didn't find it. It didn't interest me. I don't know what it is. Just something about it did not interest me. I have to say that it did not interest me what was going on, and I just didn't care as much. Something else definitely to point out here is the dialogue in this show. I don't like the dialogue, really. I really think there's way too many metaphors in this show, and some of them are just downright ridiculous. And yes, they do make fun of it, but it's ridiculous how many metaphors there are in this show. It's ridiculous how not realistic the show is. Honestly, this show is not realistic at all. There's nothing realistic that happens in this show. There's nothing about this show that feels real. It all feels very just TV, and that's fine, but I want something real. For a show like this, it should be real, and the show clearly is more concerned about the actors than is about the writing. I mean, I think this show, they just thought, oh, we'll just do a whatever screenplay, and then people will see because of these actors, which is fine, but I want good writing, and I don't really feel like we got the best of writing. I wanted a better writing, and I don't really feel like we got that. Let's talk about the big twist in the episode. First of all, we know by the end of the episode that Chuck is definitely going after Axe. Axe knows he's going after him, so there's that. The whole thing with Chuck being into BDSM and his wife being the dominatrix, why is this a huge reveal? I don't understand. I mean, it's pretty obvious from the first shot when you see his wife. It's like, okay, she's the dominatrix. I knew that was his wife. I knew it. It was not a big twist to me, and I found it to be kind of stupid, honestly. Why is this a big deal? Why are we spending so much time in it? I don't understand why this needs to be something that we spend so much time on. Seems kind of stupid, honestly. This is not 50 Shades of Billions. This is Billions. It just does not make sense why we spend so much time on that. So, that didn't really make sense. And also, there were a lot of slow scenes in this episode that I had no interest in whatsoever. And plus, to be honest with you guys, I don't really know what they're talking about. I don't. A lot of this stuff, I don't know what they're talking about, and that's another reason why I don't think I'll stick with this show. Because in order for me to stick with the show, I want to know what's going on, and I don't want to sound dumbfounded. That's the other thing. I don't want to sound dumbfounded when I'm watching a show. And this is one of those shows where I don't really know exactly what's going on. So I don't want to sound dumbfounded, I don't want to sound stupid, and I don't want to sound unintelligent, so I probably will not stick with this show. I wish I could, but that's another reason. I don't really know what's going on in this show. I also didn't really find the scenes of both of their children necessary. I understand we need to see it, but some of it I didn't really understand why we saw some of it. Some of it just seemed a bit unnecessary. Like, Chuck scene's fine, but the whole thing with Axe quizzing his kids on, like, the presidents, why was that necessary? I don't really understand. Um, that just seemed like a bit too much for me. And also, it seemed like anything they did with Chuck, they had to do with Axe. And they didn't really show how they did show these two men were similar, but I didn't feel like they were, different enough. I felt like I need some more differences between these two. Chuck just seemed very, very wooden, in my opinion. He just seems like a very wooden character. Just a very much of a caricature. He's a grumpy guy who is very tough and knows what he's doing. And Axe just seems a lot more calculated and a lot more just more of a people person. And I wanted more between these two, and I didn't really feel like they really separate these characters very, very well. Definitely, I didn't really feel like they did a very good job at that. I would have wanted just a bit more differences between the two, and then I would have been fine with that. But overall, guys, that's honestly all I have to say about the show. I don't have much else to say about it. I would have wanted to stick with this show, but I just can't see myself sticking with it, to be honest with you guys. I can't see myself sticking with it. I can't see myself, going back and watching it. Maybe if the show gets better, maybe next season I'll continue it, but there's so much on TV that I can't see myself continuing this show. maybe it'll get better. Like I said, if you guys tell me, oh, it's gotten really good, you should continue to watch it, then maybe I will continue to watch it. But right now, at least, I don't think I can sit, see myself continue to watch this show. I do like I said, the cast in this show. I think some of the ideas are very good. Just me personally, because I don't really know what's going on, and because I'm not that interested already, I can't really see myself sticking with the show for 12 episodes. I just can't see myself doing that. So, alright, guys, I mean, you guys saw his first episode. I thought it was just fine. Nothing really that great. I thought that, like I said, the acting was pretty good. Definitely enjoyed that. Best thing about the show, without a doubt, is the acting. Love to hear your thoughts on it, and we'll see you guys in my next video, which will be for tonight's episode of Supergirl, which please be good, because the last episode was not good at all, and I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.